Bet you didn't expect me to be back so soon, did ya? Well, I'm back with Warioware Get It Together, my favorite and only Warioware game. And I gotta say, I love it. If you like this content, subscribe, like, and leave a comment telling me what game I should do next. And thank you for watching. Okay, so the game starts with Wario and crew finishing their game. Oh my god. Of course, the game has just a bug or two. Average game developer moment. And then the game itself decides to suck them in with its lips. What the hell? Anyways, they all turn into game characters. It's almost like they're a game inside of a game. That's pretty cool if you ask me. I like that. And then we're on the title screen, which has the Switch Joy-Cons on there. Pretty cool. There's a lot of other extra stuff that we're not going to be doing at all in this video. And I probably won't do ever, unless you guys really want me to. So, we enter the actual game, and we enter the first level. And Wario has a jetpack. So we get the character introduction. So, Wario can fly. And if you press the A button, or, well, the left button, god damn it, the right button, he charges. So you can break blocks with this. You can also move objects and weights. And you can defeat enemies. So this level is called Intro Games. This is basically just a bunch of easy games. For example, well, actually no examples yet. So this game really does feel like a fever dream. It also makes me feel like I'm schizophrenic. I mean, just look at this. Poor Orbulon, he got hit by a nose. That just makes me sound so damn schizophrenic, alright? Of course, the nose crashes into Wario's house. And we get to start the game. So, a few levels are Hypnotize, where you just push that once. Then there's Dislodge. It speaks for itself. There's Collect 'em all. Honestly, really easy. Then we also get a Speed Up, which happens in an interval in every different level. It changes. But then we get to introduce the Cricket. Alright, Cricket cannot fly, but he can move in any direction. However, he's kind of like the robot from Geometry Dash, where you get to jump. And you get to choose how much you jump. You can kill enemies by stomping on them, or jumping into them. You can also break a bunch of stuff by doing that. Then we get introduced to one of my favorite early game characters, 18 Volt, who cannot move. However, if you move the joystick, he aims. And if you press the button, he shoots. And you can shoot at a very fast rate too. You can also grab onto those rings, which only 3 characters in the entire game can do. But it helps them move around. So we're put into the boss stage, which has a purple nose like Waluigi, except it's Wario's nose. So then we're put into Japan. Where you fight the goddamn Octo missiles from Splatoon? What the hell? Whatever. We just have to bash into them. and they die without hitting their spikes, or else will die. And we're introduced to the average British man, and they fly around, and the spikes hit them. Like I said, average Brit. Very easy to take down. It was like it was the Revolutionary War. And we get a whole planet of gold. You kill the bug, and the level returns to normal. There's even a shine. We're introduced to Mona, who's on a motorcycle that can't stop moving. However, if you press A, she moves her boomerang. You can crawl it back. And you can also steer using the joystick. Pretty cool. Flying character, takes a lot of practice, but it's cool. You can also use the boomerang to push items. However, if you want to go into stuff that usually requires a character, you're just going to have Mona do that. And then Mona has a goddamn mansion? What the hell? She also has an elephant, a pig, and a monkey as a pet. I have a little bit of theory for you. I'm pretty sure every single character in Warioware has a problem with their brain. Most of them are schizophrenic, or in Wario's case, they're just a dumbass. You can tell me in the comments what kind of mental illness that each of the characters have. I don't think Mona needs that big of a house, considering that she has school, bro. She doesn't need that. Anyways, there's this minigame where we rock the baby. This fucking sucks. Anyways, we also have this minigame, which is a good boss fight minigame where we hit the package that we want and then put it inside of a box. Of course, you have to get it right, or else we'll just die. And one thing about this, after the first one, all of them have the same, like, 3 items in them, so you can do them in any order that you want. Also, I don't know why I didn't do this, but in the first level, you can just, hit multiple at once and just have them all in a basket. I don't know why I didn't do that on the second one, but oh well. Also, I did not know this, but you can actually hit the bug away. I did not know that, and I wish I did. So, on to the worst character in the game, 9-Volt. Which he's kind of like Mona in the fact that he can't stop moving. However, he can't float around, so you can't steer him either. So instead, you gotta just deal with whatever he does. However, he can also grab onto rings. He can also shoot his yo-yo. It's really hard to aim with him. Honestly, he's just not a good character. Of course, his minigames include a Pikmin reference, which, on God, everyone loves a Pikmin reference. So we're then put into this other level, which probably has one of the better characters, Dribble and Spitz, one of only 2 characters who can only shoot in one direction. However, they also have a 2-player thing, where Dribble shoots to the right, Spitz shoots to the left. Simple. Oh yeah, and they can also fly, because they're in their taxis. These two are space cab drivers. I don't know what it is, but both of them look like they're from Looney Tunes, more than any other character. Especially Dribble. Looks like a dog from Tom and Jerry. Oh yeah, those are just alien Pikmin that they have in their cab. Pretty cool if you ask me. Not much really happened in this stage though, because it was like really easy. So we beat it without much problem. And then we were introduced to probably the most schizophrenic of schizophrenics, Dr. Krygor, whose ability is that whenever you press A, he floats, and you can control where he goes. However, other than that, he can't move. He also has self-esteem issues, I think. Not sure. Maybe because he's bald and built like a goddamn dwarf. I mean, I'd be sad if I was bald, alright? That's all I'm saying. So you can destroy things by running into them. So here's what I mean. He has some self-esteem issues, alright? He makes these flatterbots that are supposed to flatter him. And they flatter the cleaning bot, which is pretty cool. I'm honestly surprised that the cleaning bot didn't make it into the game, but I'm actually not surprised at the same time. And then they applaud Mike for his karaoke skills, even though I'm pretty sure they do suck. But then Krygor does this. And they fail. And personally speaking, I'm not surprised. I don't think I would flatter that either. So, however, I don't know what this has to do with Krygor, but his boss minigame is literally just making sushi. What? Honestly, I will say though, that sushi does look really good. And who the hell is gonna put a telephone on their sushi? And who's just putting a packet of soy sauce on their sushi? Anyways, then we're put onto the last level of the first world, the remix. We have the minecart, which has Mike in it. He can float around, and he can shoot upwards. Pretty cool if you ask me. So yeah, obviously he can move stuff by walking into it. He's not that hard to aim with, but oh well. We're also given another Pikmin reference, because we all love our Pikmin references. Then we have some of the worst characters in the game, Cat and Anna, who can only shoot in one direction, like Dribble's Pits. However, they're constantly jumping, which automatically makes them worse. Like, you know how hard it is to aim and control with those two? A character who I much would have preferred to be inside of the game would have been him. I much would have preferred him inside the game. I'm pretty sure this is his first appearance, if I'm not wrong. But he has a cool power, so I would have liked to see him, honestly. But apparently he's kind of a jackass, so maybe not. But then again, Wario's a jackass too, so. I don't know what it is, but I think the fact that Wario employs children, let alone kindergartners, in his line of work is crazy to me. But anyways, we then go to sports, which has Michael Jackson in it. But he has a blue afro. Oh yeah, also Krygor is really afraid of the dark, apparently. And Mike makes fun of him for that, which is funny to me. Anyways, Jimmy T, he's a fun character. So, like Krygor, he can't move until his power is activated. However, and, well, actually, like Krygor, he has a dash kind of attack. You can move him, and he moves in the direction that dash goes. However, this is a single thing, so you have to press every time he stops his dash. He's kind of, in a way, he's a better, but also a worse Krygor. He takes a lot more mastery because his ability is hard to control in a lot of ways. The next question I have here is how the hell is an old man and a young child lifting up big weights like this? Keep in mind that both those people are also employed. I wouldn't necessarily call that, like really groovy at all. Also, one thing you might notice in the crowd, there's a monkey. If you pay attention, you're gonna see it. Okay, Cricket I can actually see working with Jimmy T. But everyone else here, no, not so much. I wouldn't really expect any of the other three to be there. On God, it wasn't a hard level though. However, we then go to the arguably one of the best characters in the game, Ashley. Who's a spellcaster and a witch. And she can shoot in any direction that you point her at, which makes her a little hard to control, but is really worth it. I also think Ashley's just one of the funnier characters. And that's also because she's just hungry. And also the fact that all the magic that she uses here is to turn her enemies into food and then eat them. Which is kind of messed up to think about. But honestly, I can't complain. That does look like some good food. Like, bro, an egg on a burger? That's genius! I would totally eat that too. Those donuts also do look pretty good. Then after that, we are then put into Orbulon's level. Which, Orbulon is actually really cool because he just attacks downwards. He can fly. Which automatically makes him a better character that he can just... The simple fact that he can fly. You know how cool that is? Pretty damn cool. Because he attacks downwards, he beams everything up that you never have to let go. He's one of the only characters whose thing you never have to let go of. And can just instantly get rid of a bunch of obstacles as well. And honestly, I think Orbulon's just really funny. I think he might have a learning disorder, if anything. Because bro just steals stuff. He doesn't even know. And he says that they're souvenirs. It also takes the old lady and the dog as a souvenir. Yeah, I think Wario would like that golden moai. Honestly, the only thing that relatable that he actually did was fly away from Wario's place. Bro, it's an ammonite shell. What the hell? I mean, he's thoughtful for getting things for his friends, but I don't think anyone really wants parts of culture for that. Oh well. He's just a good character. And they're put into the second mix, which has the best character in it. And I think a lot of people's favorite character for no reason in particular. 5-volt. Whose ability is also really damn overpowered. Oh my god. However, her ability is really good. And the blast radius of her ability is also broken. The only problem is that she doesn't get her float thing back until she reaches the floor. And also it spawns above her, which makes it hard for quick time things. But she can also just do that in a lot of situations, so makes her fun to use. Of course, then we have the second stage of Wario's, because of course Wario gets 2. To be fair, it's the final stage, and also the glitch stage, which Wario's nose turns into a donut, and then one of Krygor's flatterbots. Oh, that's kind of creepy. And then Wario turns evil in his own Warioware series for who knows what time this is. How many times he's been turned into like an evil incarnate of something. This is probably like his 18th time doing this. Really weird that he gets that down to him all the time. But then we're put into the last boss fight with the best character in the game. Pretty cool. Honestly, this chase isn't difficult because 5-volt's in it. Also, what the hell is up with, like, this acid trip of a game? Notice I'm on a goddamn toilet for the last boss fight. Like, what the hell? Also, what's up with Mount Wario leaking gas over there? And why is it alive? Oh yeah, then we have to do this. Unplug his nose. Which is just weird. Honestly, the game does feel like an acid trip. Of course, we got rid of the final bug. And we met God after this. Yep, there he is. God Wario. Has the most luscious hair in all of the Mario series. It's crazy. Well, we were able to escape. And that's pretty cool. And then, so we got the credits to roll. Pretty awesome, right? Wait a minute. 1 second. What's this? So you get the origin story of how the bugs came to be. And it's because of, who would have guessed, Wario. And to be completely honest, I am not surprised. But to be fair, I would have probably done the same thing if the big bug decided to pop out of the screen. I probably would have thrown it against the wall. Bad Wario. Oh. Oh. So I guess the game isn't over yet. Alright. And what the hell? Oh well. We enter the first level of the post game and find Red from Angry Birds. Anyways, he's kind of just a worse version of Warioware in my opinion. He drops bombs as his entire ability. However, he can also fly, so. And you probably guessed, he can move downwards. His bombs can also activate switches, if you did not know. So after beating the first level, we find a literal turd? What the hell? However, it dropped a chest, so can't really say much there. And we got a golden beehive from Animal Crossing. What? Anyways, after getting Red to join our crew, we went to the next tower and found Master Mantis. Sorry, not Master Mantis, Sensei Wu.
Long before time had a name, The first Spinjitzu master created Ninjago using 4 elemental weapons.
Still,
but when he passed, a dark presence sought out to collect them
all. What
all.
the hell is this, One Piece? Anyways, his abilities consist of crickets. However, he can also go onto the ceiling. So he's literally just a better cricket. Because I'm pretty sure his jump is higher too. Yeah, and I mean that in every way. Master Mantis is just a better cricket. Anyways, the turd comes back and gives us another treasure chest. It's probably the most useless thing ever. A golden toilet paper roll. You know how useless that is? Whatever. After that, we enter the third tower, where we find a child. There's also a fangirl, even though she's probably like 5. Anyways, she has an okay ability. It's not the best. Her ability is basically allowing her to jump up infinitely. And she can also ground pound. Just okay. I think they're running out of ideas. But we beat the level pretty easily. And the turd flew in and dropped another treasure. That's all 3 of the people that we need, so... But we got the golden holy mug. And we got Triple Dog dared to put the 3 treasures together. However, we're given probably the most e-girl of characters of all time, Penny. And I'll say this much. Penny is probably one of the least schizophrenic out of all the characters in Warioware. She's also the most e-girl out of the bunch. And for some reason, she's the only character who has her own song. I think I know what character the devs really preferred. And she also caused it to rain. Well, like I said, not like I said, I didn't say anything about her ability. Well, she's the only character to have water. And this was an advantage, because wherever she sprays, she moves the opposite way. So yeah, she can float, technically. However, she can also hover. Like I said, she can use water. So I'm not going to show you any clips of her using her water abilities, but just know, if there's any minigames that involve water as like the clear condition, Penny can just cheat it. And I'm not even joking about that. It's pretty dang good. She's also smarter than her grandfather, which, no surprise there. So yeah, we got the golden watering can. And then, for some unknown reason, A, the water turns into sparkles, B, we pour it into a toilet, and C, it turns into a goddamn beanstalk. You know how random that is? It's pretty damn random. Of course, the golden watering can disappears, and Wario is Wario, so he's mad about that, because he's really only motivated by money. So we're put into the final stage, where we face off against a turd, I think. Yep, we're face off against a turd. So let me go chase it. We're all... How many characters is this? Like 19, I think? No, all 17 of us go to face off. Go to face it off. Let's show you what I mean. Alright, Cat. You see how hard that is to aim and stuff? Anyways, Cricket clears his very easily because his is literally just jumping. An 18 volt, we just have to spam his attack at the eyes and then we win. 5 volt being 5 volt clears her stage really easily. Then we have Mike, which cleared his stage pretty easily as well. There's Jimmy T. This one almost got me killed. Like, I swear to God, this one almost got me killed. But we survived. So yeah, like I said, Jimmy is hard to control. Then we have Ashley's stage, which, well, let that speak for itself. It wasn't that difficult. You have then we have 8 volts. God damn it, 9 volts. Then we have Lulu's stage. Honestly, not difficult. Then you have Penny's stage, which we just crushed that guy who's carrying a water jug for some reason. Like, where did they get the water jug? Anyways, then we have Mona's stage, which, without any surprise, was really easy. You have Krygor's. See this? That is actually surprisingly way more difficult than you think. Of course, you then got Master Wu to take out the other eye. And then Orbulon's stage, we just pick up stuff and crush that. Easy. And they got Red to drop bombs. Easy. Then we had Dribble shoot the eyes off that bird. And for round 17... Wait a minute, that's familiar. Is it the bird from Flappy Bird? Holy cow. It is the bird from Flappy Bird. Anyways, we then had to go hit the eye. Which, yeah, we died. Yeah, I'm not dying that late into the challenge. So, yeah, we beat up Pyro. Sorry, not Pyro. Who the hell is Pyro? The bird from Flappy Bird. Again. And I almost died again. So, yeah, after hitting its 5th eye, like, how many eyes does one bird have? Oh, that is Pyro. Okay. Well, it's the goddamn Angry Bird, I guess. So, that's cool. This Pyro is probably just the most unsettling of the characters. I'm not even gonna lie, he's just creepy. Alright? Anyways, Pyro, we just kind of popped over to have fun. Doesn't have any money, so he can't pay Wario anything. Oh boy. And oh well. Thank you, Master Wu, for your very awesome end of game speech. Anyways, last character that we unlock is Pyro. So, he's the third character you can grab onto the rings, because he can't jump at all. But he can extend his tongue. And it bounces off of walls. These are pretty cool things, honestly. And we hit the credits. Let's go. For real this time. Right? Yeah, it's for real. Well, this is the Warioware section of the video, and watch till later to see a tier list. Oh, the clean bot's called Doris 1. That's cool to know. Alright. Well, thanks for watching up to this point. If you want to, just go up to, well, the tier list point, because you probably don't want to watch all this. That'll be all. Thanks for watching. So, we're going to do the character tier list, which I promised at the start of the video, and we're just going to see which character is the best and which character is the worst. Okay, we're going to start with Dr. Krygor. He's okay, he's not the best. I wouldn't say he's like an A tier character. He's hard to control, especially in the final area, the Warioware boss fight, so I'm going to have to say he's a B tier. Next up is Dribble and Spitz, a kind of step up. The fact that they can only shoot in one direction kind of throws me off, but I think just because they can fly and that they can shoot at one direction, that they can just spam it, I think that puts them as an A tier. Mona. Now, this is a hard character to get control of, but if you know how to use her correctly, she's pretty easily cements herself in the A tier. 18 volt. Okay, this guy is just good. I can't even say otherwise. He's just good. Alright? I'll have to say he's pretty easily an S tier. He's hard to aim with, but he's easier to aim with than Ashley down here. And the fact he's just spammable. He's just a fun character to use overall. Next is 5 volt. Now, I don't know if you know this. Probably don't, but 5 volt is the best character, in my opinion. She's just useful, lots of damage, and overall, it's hard not to use her. Yeah, like I said, it's worse when you're not using her. Alright? Okay, next is 9 volt, and I think we can all tell where this is going. This is by far the worst character in the game. Second next to these two, which I'm just going to put in there at one time, you know. Actually, this is an S tier character. The fact that she can fly around and shoot in any direction is just really good, alright? Okay, next we have Cricket. Cricket is like a C tier. He's not that good of a character. His jumping's okay, but he's just, like, not that good. Jimmy. I'm gonna have to say he's an A tier. He's really hard to control. But once you learn how to control him, he's pretty damn good. Then, there's this one. I'd say this is like a C tier. The jump is just too slow, honestly. And the ground pound's okay, but it's just... the bad sides are especially highlighted in Pyro's boss fight. Next is Master Mantis, who's just a better Cricket. Sorry, but he's just better. We have Mike. Honestly, good A tier. He's like high A tier. High A tier, in my opinion. He can only shoot upwards, which is a problem that pretty much no other character has. But because he can fly around, it just makes him easier to use. Then we have Orbulon. I'd honestly say he's better than Ashley. Orbulon is just constant attack. You just never have to let go of the button. Ever. And I like that. Then you have Penny. Easily the second best character because she can also just do... Sorry. She also has just the most amount of cheat sheets out of any character whenever it comes to water. Which is really damn good. Then we have Pyoro. I honestly say this is like... I'd say this is below Lulu. Pyoro, it's hard to control where he's gonna attack. But like once you learn a little bit about him, he's an okay character. We have Red. I'd also say he's kind of just like a worse Orbulon in a few senses. I'd say he's better than Lulu though. Actually, no, I think he's better than everyone on this list. Well, sorry, not on the list. C tier. Finally, there's Wario, and this, I'd say he's better than Krygor, but he's not like as good as Jimmy T or anyone else, so he's B tier. Okay, so that's the tier list. I hope you like it, and this is my opinion. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.